Revelation 2181. From the 10th and the 11th of December 1941. Light. Love work in the hereafter. Work of redemption. The soul will find an environment full of light in the beyond if it has led a God-pleasing way of life on earth and shaped itself into a being of light. Then it will be free from all restraints, it can stay wherever it wants, light will surround it everywhere and its state will be a blissful one. The world full of light, which is now its abode, is by no means a work of creation made of earthly matter, but what the soul now beholds are spiritual entities which are inconceivable to the human being. They surpass everything that has been seen so far in beauty of color and form. They are structures which the human being's boldest imagination cannot conceive, and yet the soul feels at ease in this environment because it only finds what it has longed for in spirit. It now no longer has any desire for the earth it left but recognizes its true home, and earthly life appears to it like a dream which has been dreamed away. And now the exceedingly blissful state drives it to activity by wanting to communicate the same to all beings, which makes it so exceedingly happy. It knows that light means bliss in the beyond, and it also knows about the endless darkness of the unredeemed souls and would like to break through this darkness and likewise put the souls into a state of light. This urge for redeeming activity is inherent in every being of light and therefore makes this activity blissful. Thus the soul will always be willing to help without any calculation. It gives because its heart urges it, and now receives in the same measure as it gives again. And its own feeling of happiness increases the more it now brings its light to the ignorant souls or people on earth. Light is her surroundings, light is herself, and light brings every teaching which is again imparted in love. The kingdom of light is everywhere where the beings of light stay, yet the beings of light also always have access to the beings which still languish in darkness, except that they do not approach the immature beings in all their fullness of light but veil themselves, that they do not let their light shine because the beings of darkness could not tolerate it. Yet they still carry out their activity by imparting knowledge to the beings of darkness so that they can be taught. And now the latter enter the circle of light of those who have lived a life of love and now work in love again on the souls which still lack all light. To stand in the light is to be knowledgeable. The knowing human being is God-connected, and the souls in the beyond who stand in the light are likewise close to God so that they receive His emanation of light, thus they are nourished by His wisdom. The process of light transmission is incomprehensible to people because no earthly comparison can be made for it. In the spiritual kingdom God's will is sufficient for the most incomprehensible processes to take place, and such a process is also the emanation of light, the uninterrupted flow of light and strength and transmission to the perfect being. Contact with God has to be established first, that is, the being has to have found intimate union with God in order to be able to receive His flow of light and strength. And the union with God takes place as soon as the being is active in love. Love activity in the beyond will always be the transmission of spiritual knowledge to the ignorant, that is beings standing in darkness. This work of love results in a constantly increased supply of light and strength, and thus love will become ever stronger towards the unredeemed souls because God's love has seized the beings of light and the flow of love inexorably flows over to them, which results in an ever more industrious activity of love. Now, understandably, the state of darkness of those beings on which the activity of love is carried out must also change into light. First the darkness has to give way to a slight twilight. Until then weak rays of light also break through it, and the soul begins to recognize its surroundings more clearly, and its desire for light steadily increases. The light being's activity of love can increase to the same extent, And this is the work of redemption which has certainly begun on earth but will continue in the beyond and still last for eternities before the last being is led out of darkness into light. Thus all spiritual beings are finally redeemed. Amen.